So we have Alpha 2 basic ranged weapon attack update. I thought it was also already like class related a little bit.
Hello everyone, and
not.
welcome to another live stream day with an awesome showcase of our basic ranged combat revamp.
What the hell was that?
Excited to be here again, showing you guys Ashes of Creation and its current progress towards Alpha 2. I have joining me today two stellar senior designers on our team, senior designer Trad and Jeremy. How are you guys doing?
Okay.
I'm doing well. Just looking forward to showing some of the stuff we've been working on here.
Oh, I know. It's always exciting.
Why
Jeremy,
do they
how you
always
doing,
do
buddy?
that?
Doing really good. Really excited to be here. Really excited to show the stuff we've got this time.
Show us.
Yes, and my first awe is of course the world. Just the unbelievably beautiful environments that
That's interesting that your camera can zoom out through something like this. I wonder if that's always like that, or you can just like, what if he turns his camera towards the stone and then does it like pop into your character because you can't look through the stone or whatever?
The team and the design team have just come up with these
we will see it maybe.
ruins and this forest. I mean, where are we at right now, Jeremy?
We are in the Riverlands, which was the former heart of the Aelan Empire.
Ooh.
So we're among their ruins from a long time ago after the fall.
Yeah,
Collision
people saw some of these
detection
things in the weather and seasons showcase. So you guys might recognize this stuff, but the Aelan Empire, that was one of the largest, if not the largest empire at the time of the apocalypse, right?
Right. It was at the height of their golden age when the fall happened. So we are just standing in their ruins now.
And it is so cool. I always love environments where you have these ancient,
I can't watch
almost
4K
artifacts and just locations that you get to explore.
Oh yeah, okay, so you saw that there a little bit. You see that?
Just
Look
locations that you
we can even slow it down.
get.
When he moves it here, it pops. Like it zooms in. But that's what I was that could be a little annoying if they have a lot of these window type things where you just walk past and it's just like, you know, that could happen.
It's
And
really
one of the
compelling.
big goals, is to make a living, breathing world that's an actual character of our game. Vera should very much feel like a character that has so much history and story behind it. They're like great fantasy worlds of the past and other franchises.
Wait.
Vera should
The hood
very much feel like one of
has
those
fucking
that
ear cutouts.
just hearing the name invokes all kinds of history and character
No clipping.
and living, breathing, and actually a world that's been in trouble for a long time now, and the players are coming back to help rescue and recover that.
I love it. And I also love the fact that Chris
I can
Atkins threw in some slits for this elf's ears to come through. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
I feel a lot comfortable. Your ears able to poke through.
Adorable.
They are adorable. This is such a great outfit. I'm loving the cape
Yeah, it
cloth
looks
as
good.
well. It's very cool. So you were mentioning we are in an area that is relatively dangerous, right? This is these aren't elite monsters, right? But they are still deadly.
These looks like a Minotaur hunting party, war party that are investigating this area for some reason. It looks like some shaman have come down to this Riverland area. And they're checking things out.
And they have some like guard dogs with them.
They've got some drudgers with them. Kind of like reptilian dog.
I mean, this is obviously still very early, but mobs just standing around like that is very how do you say that? Non-organic, unauthentic. Like, why don't the 1 down 2 minotaurs just, you know, walk around together and have one dog with them or something, you know? Just patrolling the area or some shit. That would make it way better. But obviously this is early, so they might still do that anyways.
That are acting as lookouts and guards while they're looking around for things.
Oh no. Oh, I'm walking. Oh God. Oh no! Wait,
You're
wait.
just gonna aggro this zone.
Oh no! Wait,
On a few of them.
hold on 1 second. Trad, what should I do? What items or abilities?
Spam 2 on one of them. Take that guy down. All right, that was a quick shot right there. So quick shot is an ability that has 3 charges, and each shot does more damage than the last 2.
You know what I'm also worried about? Widescreen. As you can see, he's playing in widescreen, and if the fucking guy in charge is playing in widescreen, then I'm assuming widescreen will be the way to play again, which is kind of cringe. Which means we probably need a widescreen for that.
The target that you're attacking, so you can kind of use it as an opener.
Yeah, I also think that Steven plays these is always a little bit weird because he doesn't really know what he's doing. So I don't understand why they would do that, but maybe they're just trying to like hide how to properly play it or something.
Right kind of ability.
Oh no!
Just to drop somebody.
Do I have that 2 back again? The quick shot?
Yep. Yeah, we haven't done like full cooldown pass on this or anything, so you can pretty much just spam it right now. But
You got that.
Oh, that guy pushed me. Oh god, I have 16 health. No!
dropping.
No!
Oh,
The shaman are not something to mess with. They
pretty
got
sure
that
you can't
charge.
How did we
That's
draw?
what they're
How
doing.
did I grab so many?
They're
just
paying
uses
attention.
one ability.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, playing as a ranged player, you have to be aware of your surrounding.
I did not.
So the
I
charge
was not
shot is
aware of my
number
surroundings.
1.
Okay, you guys may notice that I'm not dying right now. And I would just like to comment that the stream would not be good if I died trying to fight these things. What am I using here, Dread?
That would be Snipe. So unlike Quick Shot, that is an ability that you can press and hold, and it kind of roots you in place. So it's you gotta like use that at the right time, but you do get a lot of payoff if you can pull off the whole thing. So the longer that you charge it, the more damage it does.
Okay.
I need to get some of my health back. I
It'll work
apologize,
better.
stream. Let me just say that whenever we do these recordings,
I do wonder how they will balance action versus tab. Like unranged, why would you ever do action combat like ever? Especially for auto attacks.
and I am piloting, right? I have this very well thought out outline and plan about how things are going to go, and somehow something happens and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
why.
like what Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until they're punched in the face.
Right? Yeah. No plan survives contact with the enemy. But
Action will be soft
so
target.
I turned on this cheat code which doesn't let me die if I fall below 1 hit point. So every time you see me drop to 1 hit point, know that I would have normally just died there, and you guys can take a shot of water or something.
Point for the Minotaur.
Yeah, point for the Minotaur.
Just
Okay, so by the way, you guys are seeing this is early morning here on the Varen Riverlands.
looks good
and
graphically.
You'll see that there's a lot of weather effects that are happening right here. There's some pollen because we're in the middle of spring, but it's also early morning, so we have this fog layer that's rolling through. Of course, the
I'm not
aesthetics
really
of Ashes
sure
of Creation are very
if they
important. We've
scrap
always
that.
said that game systems makes games fun, and the game environment and the aesthetics make it beautiful and make it immersive. So we double down on both of those. But Jeremy, talk to me a little bit about these Minotaurs. Who are these Minotaurs? Why are they here?
So these Minotaur, well, prior to the fall, they were kind of just a nomadic, chaotic race. They're a race that really benefited when the player races left for Sanctus.
Yeah,
So they, in the intervening time, they've gotten stronger. They've kind of found some techniques.
The arrow sounds are pretty
help
good.
in some ways from other entities that aren't friendly. So they've really got organized, got equipped, and they're kind of actually excited to see the players come back because they want some revenge. So
Yeah,
they are
they're-
looking for ways to. They have oral histories and things that tell of
What is
these
he talking
people
about?
that held them down and hunted them, and they're brutally wanting to exact that revenge.
Can I? I'm gonna cheat here again because I just want to go up to them and give people a look at what these Minotaurs look like in the game.
Mhm.
So
So the Terragor is one of those clans
That
or
looks
tribes.
pretty sick.
This one's the Raincaller, who has essence that kind of evokes water. He has water abilities, throws water attacks, and makes shields of
Yeah, that looks
water
pretty
bubbles
good.
around them.
We
This
saw
guy
some
is
Minotaur art as well, which
amazing.
was sick.
Oh, I love the model work.
Yeah, Eli's done an amazing job on these. And,
I wish
and
they
these
wouldn't
are just
fall
a
over that
shaman. These are
quickly,
kind
though.
of the ones that are divine and have a little bit of a connection there. There's much bigger ones, much more even scarier ones.
I mean,
like the
I'm assuming they
Marauders
haven't
and
added
the
everything yet, but
Berserkers
so
and
far
even the
they didn't
Khan,
really
which we've
Who
seen
did
called
they
the-
do a whole lot.
Oh wow, look at that. I'm sorry, I'm just looking over in the distance and I see this
What the hell is that?
giant like tower structure.
Yeah, that's the Tower of Carfin under a curse that is causing a lot of problems for the area too.
Oh, you're right. Actually, I think if we approach up here, we actually cross over into the boundary of Carfin, the wreckage of Carfin, right? It's like science.
Correct, yeah.
I see RP
And
walking.
Carfin was one of the great cities of the Aelan Empire, and it's now in ruin.
Ooh, there we go.
Good.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, I see it. That, my friends, that you're seeing off in the distance,
I like the mini-map, too.
is in Alpha 2, obviously.
Mhm.
And Jeremy, tell us a little bit about the tower and what, just a little bit. Nothing give
Okay.
away too much, but just a little
Sure.
bit about the tower. What is it? What is the tower from the player's
It was
perspective?
a focus of the mages and study.
How the hell does this work? Like, if there's a... I thought the node changes how things work. How is there a tower? Is there a node already developed there?
Of the Aelan Empire. Carfin was a city that kind of had a great mage population, so it had
What
a
up, Kraken?
university there, and things went bad there during the last days of
okay.
the fall. They made some desperate measures in a really awesome quest series that Scott's written up and implemented and things.
Awesome. So it's going to be a pretty fun tower that is intended for many groups to exist within and fight. Now, Trad, question. What
Answer.
type of weapon am I using? Thank you. What type of weapon am I using here?
A longbow.
This would be the longbow. So you can kind of tell, like, when you're shooting your basic attack, that the shots are a little bit slower but have more power behind them. Yeah, I really like the model that Atkins threw together for this.
Oh, it looks so good.
Looks like it's of an Empyrean design. So one of the
Yes.
greater Empyrean
Looks
filmmakers
good.
of the past.
I
maybe
was never
someone's
worried about
remembered
the graphics.
techniques to make it.
It looks so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah,
So
if you
now,
wanna go and
Okay,
shoot
go ahead.
something with it, like, go ahead and hold the button down. One thing that we're playing around with this that we haven't done with our melee weapons is it has a contextual behavior based on if you're tapping the pressing the button versus holding it.
Yeah.
So kind of like snipe, you can actually hold these attacks, and instead of doing just a rapid fire,
I'm sorry,
you
just
have-
Trad, 1 second. Something
Sure.
happened. These little birds just spawned right near
Oh.
me, and they're like eating on the ground. If I move, will they move?
I hope so.
What the hell is this?
Okay, let's see.
let's find out.
Birds. How are you just gonna sit here and let me run around you? What are they doing? They're just they're eating, I guess. Oh no. Okay, wait. What do you want me to do with this weapon?
Hold your Q button and charge up an attack.
Houston, we might have a problem. All right, ladies
I
and
mean, the
gentlemen,
dodges
get your
look
shots of
good.
water ready. We may be
Press the
a little
3.
early. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can.
Don't worry, you have gotten it.
Perfect. Oh, I know. It's true. I just don't want to.
Give the Minotaur another.
Oh.
Yep.
Whoa, what was that?
Charge.
Did he charge me?
He got you.
Yeah. And they look cool, but they
With
don't
those water
really.
bolts.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So I can jump while shooting this.
That's good.
Now just imagine that I have a lot more health. Nobody look at the health. Don't look at my health. What are they shooting at us, Jeremy?
Those are from their casting this water bolt, this really hardened water that's
It's older.
just
It's
slamming
guys
into
didn't
you
even come
for
out yet.
force damage that hits. Yeah.
That's kind of cool. All right, Trad, I apologize. I am now going to appropriately engage.
Yeah, I don't know if there is
from the
backpedal penalty.
correct
Get the jump on them.
positions. Okay, so something cool about the longbow. Oh, now they fly away. Look at that. The birds are flying. Something cool about the longbow is that as opposed to the short bow, you are able to actually hold and charge each of the basic attacks. Is that correct?
Yep.
And doing so, what does that do for the weapon user?
Currently, it's just a damage increase, but you know, we can do all sorts of things with this later. Like, you know, if you're charging it up longer, then you can set up some kind of status effect combo. There's all kinds of things that we can do with it. But yeah, right now,
Why is abilities
it just
grayed out
increases
when he
damage.
does this?
So, for example, one thing you could do is you could do 2 basic shots and then charge the final shot, and that would give you like a big spike of damage there at the end. So,
Oh, that's
each
cool.
one could be charged individually.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And
And it sounds good.
now we have some abilities that we talked about. These are from the Ranger archetype. Of course, we're not going to show everything that the Ranger has, but we are going to give you guys some ideas of the abilities in its kit.
Yeah, I mean the drops are probably not in the game.
What
yet,
is
I'm
this
assuming.
first ability called? This is Snipe?
Yeah, this is Snipe. This is the one I was talking about earlier, where it's kind of like the basic attack, but a lot more powerful. You can hold this, and when you see that little flash there at the end, that indicates that it's fully charged.
That's a
you can-
strong ability.
Yeah, you can keep holding it in case you want to, like, you know, wait for the target to get low before you bring them down. If they're
That's a
healed.
cool
All kinds
animation.
of things that you can do, but after a certain point, it stops getting charged and it reaches max damage.
Oh, that's cool.
He's healing.
Oh, he's
That
healing.
Warhorn, no.
Yeah, we just gotta keep watching Mark Thingy though.
Now,
I think this
what
is
happens?
clean.
Let's get into that environment where I'm getting chased by a few creatures. Hold on. Let's see if I can find a couple more, because I know there's another ability we have called Airstrike, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's 3 then.
Let's see.
Really cool.
So now let's say, for example, as the Ranger, I have these creatures, and this melee guy is on me, and I want to reposition.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about what Airstrike does.
Airstrike does a lot of things.
What the hell?
The character and the direction that you're facing, and it rains free projectiles. Airstrike does a lot of things. It moves the character and the
That's a pretty long jump.
direction that you're facing, and it rains free projectiles down in the path that you're going. And each of those projectiles does damage, AoE, and also the targets. So you could think of this more as like not quite an ultimate ability, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, that ability is so
That
rad.
looks pretty cool.
I love using it.
You can
Yeah,
see its
our
channeling
ability
nature
augments,
essence
yes.
to cause roots to come up and vines to grab.
A lot
the
of them
Minotaur and
too.
hold them.
So the way they explained it was basically there's a base class that you have which gives you base abilities, and then like a lot of different things can augment those abilities, like your secondary class, I think, which like religion or whatever you have, and all of that other shit, you know. So I think even race might be able to augment, but I'm not sure. Which I think is also one of those parts where I'm like, this will take a long time, won't it? This will take a long time, won't it?
And now this quick shot ability, by the way, that I see it has a debuff that looks like the quick shot icon on the target. What's that doing?
So basically, each shot of quick shot will increase the damage of the next application of that specific attack against the target. So it kind of encourages to unload all 3 of your charges for a big spike of burst damage, but that does come at the cost of each charge comes back individually. So you either have to wait a longer period
That's a cool
of time
ability.
to get that burst, or you can just kind of weave them in here and there if you want more readily available damage.
Got it. That's super cool.
That's cool.
So I have here now a reticle on my screen. So we've switched from tab target mode, which is a point and click with the cursor, or using tab to cycle targets based on proximity priority.
Yeah.
Right? And into this reticle-based mode, which now you can see the targeting plate
March, maybe.
in the top is slightly grayed out. And we do that to demonstrate that that is a soft lock target versus a hard lock target. And what a soft lock target is, Trad, do you want to explain a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. So if you are in action mode and you don't have a target actually selected like you would in a tab target game, then it'll just smartly choose whatever target it thinks is the most appropriate for where your camera is and attack that target. But if you were to actually select a target, I think is it right mouse button in action mode?
Right. Right now, it's of course all of this stuff is customizable by the user, but if you press the right mouse button in action mode, it will hard lock the target, which means you can take your reticle off the target and it won't change. Correct, Chad?
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. Now we have another type of ranged weapon that we can show. Oh, and I can still, while in action mode, I can still tab to cycle targets as well.
Yeah,
why would
really
you do
wanted
that?
To showcase a more tab-based combat here, because we, in the last live stream, all of our melee attacks were more hitboxes, right? They didn't acquire a hard target.
Release date? I
and
don't
so
know.
we wanted to show a little bit more.
It's
of
gonna
that
take a long
screen.
time.
So, you know, right here, for example, like the target, you're not having to aim your reticle or anything like that. It's more what you, in line with what you expect of a more traditional tab target game.
Century? Yeah, something like
But
that.
at the same time, we still have abilities like airstrike and, you know, other things that we haven't even shown yet that are going to be more action oriented. So we can hopefully hit the sweet spot of having a nice combination of all that.
And it's more fun. I've played Rangers in EQ, EQ2, the Archer types in Guild Wars and Hunters and WoW. And when it's this mode with the reticle and stuff, it's just fun running around shooting these guys.
Oh,
Yeah, I
it
think
is
that should
fun.
only
I
be
switched
this
over to the
mode.
short bow now. So let me see if I can show off that short bow.
I think that's cool with the reticle. I feel like it should always be like that.
I'll exit this mode. There we go. So now I have a short
Arcage,
bow
I mean,
equipped versus the
This is basically Arcage and Lineage
excuse me,
combined.
versus the longbow.
By the way,
Talk to
could
me
be
a little
really
bit about
cool.
the difference.
I see
in
no
the short bow
bikinis.
trap.
Fuck those bikinis.
Sure, yeah. The direction that we went with the short bow was a lot more, almost want to say, acrobatic. Like, you can use this a lot more freely with the movement. It doesn't
That
slow
looks
you as
cool.
much. It's a higher
Unreal
rate of
5,
fire. Basically, this is the more mobile feeling, lightweight version of the longbow. So it's not quite as powerful because you're making some trade-offs here with range and attack speed, and I do think right now we're actually putting a higher crit rate on this one, so it's got burst potential. But these are just the kinds of decisions that we want the players to be making when they're selecting their weapon of choice.
That ability is so sick. I'm gonna say
I love
that.
the movement of that. Yeah, I mean,
That
it
ability
is
is
a very
sick.
different feeling, right? One, I'm much more mobile, being able to shoot and not have to sacrifice a lot of my movement speed like I had to with the longbow. So just from that aspect
looks like a
alone, it
root
feels like a
too,
very
yeah.
different weapon. I'm also not able to charge. I'm holding down the attack, and it's just firing a bunch. You'll see that I can blind fire because I'm in action mode. That's why I'm like firing extra there, but
You
it
do
feels
get
very different.
Tinnitus playing
And
this
of
well.
course, it doesn't change the way you have access to your abilities. Your abilities are there regardless of the type of ranged weapon necessarily you're using, short bow or long bow. And then I don't have to have a hard target lock also now for the abilities either. They tie off of the reticle. And I know there's some feedback that we wanted to collect from players with regards to this demonstration. You want to talk a little bit about that, Trent?
Yeah, as always, every time we make an ability, we're pretty much always thinking about what is the right balance between restricting player movement for the sake of weight, getting the feeling of the weight, and that being able to animate the full body all the good things that come along with, restricting.
I mean,
movement,
it looks
but
good.
At the same time, we definitely don't want to be a game.
But I'm worried about every time, every single time I react to one of these. I'm always thinking, this will take 50 years. Like, how in the absolute... Like, look at this, okay? Hold on. Look at this for 1 second here. Ashes Wiki. Let me show you this, okay? Hold on. Where is it? Races, classes, and skills. Classes. So first of all, they have to have all the primary classes have to have a full set of abilities, okay? So that's 8 classes with a full set of abilities, which obviously what they're showing right now is like what? 3
attack
of one class, which I'm assuming will be way more than that. And then they have to make an augment that coincides with all of those primary abilities for each secondary class, right? Then maybe each class has different weapons as well. Maybe every class can, maybe a ranger can also play a fucking sword or something, you know? Then they have to change that again. Like, I'm so confused, like how they will ever get this ready in time. Can be done in a year? Fuck no. They still have to make the entire world. They have to polish each ability. They have to balance each ability. Dude, this is taking fucking years, mate. This is gonna take like another 5 years at least.
Can move at the same time, and a lot of people, what I think a lot of people love in MMOs is the feeling of agency and freedom in combat, and we want to retain that. So
skills and animations, which is a lot of work.
As you
they
see
made 3 ranger abilities in 5 years of development. 3. I mean, I'm sure they have more. But like, then again, maybe Alpha 2 is good enough that we can just, I mean, they said it's gonna be a continuous thing, right? That we can just log in and we just game, dude. Which obviously will feel pretty shitty for everyone who doesn't want to spend $250, to be honest, but you know.
These go off and get used in this environment. Like, I guess we appreciate any feedback on how that direction is going.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
also from the enemy side, and asking on behalf of like Doug's encounter group, it's how fast is the combat playing? Is it too slow? Is it too fast? Does it feel good? The time to kill, or what you're seeing right now, or is it what players are liking? Do people like? And keeping in mind, these are solo ones right now. These are tuned more for solo fighting. These aren't elite group mobs, but for one-on-one type of fights.
Yeah, I like
I think
in the
the
solo
animations look good. I
areas.
think the sound design is good. I think just the ears getting like a little hole in the hood, that is a good sign that they have some attention to detail and everything. The world looks good. The monsters are a little bit underwhelming. I mean, it's very early, obviously. This right here, the name of the mobs, this is really weird. I'm sure they will change that though. I like the UI, like the ability UI already. Actually, I think this is clean. I don't think they need to change a lot there, personally. Semi-usable usable version. I mean, looks like it.
This for me, this speed feels pretty good, given that I'm a DPS class. And these guys are particularly susceptible to rangers because they are mage class NPCs.
Like usually mobile game UIs are minimalistic too, right? But this is a minimalistic kind of design that still has nuance and like depth to it, and that's important. So it does not look like a mobile game UI. I can't speak.
But getting your guys' opinion on those things. Also, the differences between the weapon types, right? We talked a little bit about the longbow. We talked a little bit about the short bow. Being able to kind of give us feedback on how you feel the direction has gone now. Is this the type of ranged combat you're looking for? Those of you out there, especially who are bow users and enjoy these classes, what is it about the games that you have played that you felt had good range combat in it, and are you seeing
Are there headshots?
elements of that demonstrated in this
Because I
type
don't
of
see
combat
it.
as well? I can
I don't
tell
think
you
there are.
that obviously seeing is one thing. In Alpha 2, those of you who have access will be able to give us kind of your feel feedback.
I think this bow shooting is very good. I don't think you have to reinvent the wheel on most things at all. Like if this is what he's doing here is his auto attacks, right?
Demonstrated in this type of combat as
Like
well.
that's fucking sick. Like that's better a bow auto attack than any game I've ever played. Easily. And it sounds better. It's just auto attacks, So I think this is fine. I think this is completely decent. Like you don't have to reinvent anything. You just take what already exists and just make it better. New World, ugh.
I can tell you that obviously seeing is one thing. In Alpha 2, those of you who have
I think them just like working on the basics and making the basic gameplay really good is what makes games good. And it's super important that they do that, because I think a lot of games, just like WoW nowadays, they focus so much on the next big thing, the next big update, the next big system they introduce. But if you have really good base gameplay that is also almost sandboxy, so players can change the play style the way they want to, and there's different ways to do different abilities, like this number 2 ability here, where the shots can change, right? You can do 3 shots in a row and each shot does more damage, or you can weave it in like he said, or you can charge it up or whatever. Like that's really cool, and that's what I was complaining about for a long time actually about Ashes, was that their abilities were very basic and lackluster and they had no like nuance to it. But if abilities have these kind of little things where you can be like, oh, I'm gonna click this button once and then I will do another ability and I'll weave another one in, that's so sick. Like that's exactly what makes base combat so good, is if the players can kind of decide what they're gonna do with it. And that makes players also engage way longer in these systems because there's more to it, right? Like imagine if a real sports player, okay, like a ping pong player, okay, would just have to press one button and he would always do the same hit. He would hit the ball the same way each time. Maybe he can change left or right, that's it. That would be boring as shit. Right? People play real sports because there's so much nuance to it. There's a fucking million different ways you can hit a ball in ping pong, okay? Or whatever other sport, because there's so much velocity, like physics, I don't know which angle you can do, I don't know, an upper, you can do a million things with just very basic stuff. So I think it's super important that they reiterate and could put more things into basic abilities so people can, adjust the way they play, and then you don't have to have so many new things all the time because the base abilities are already interesting. That's how you do that.
Access will be able to give us kind of your feel feedback, and of course that's not under NDA, so all of us get to watch.
Bro, New World has fucking 3 abilities. No, New World, no, is it 2 abilities actually? No, it's 3, right? No, New World is not good, okay? Get a grip.
Participate in Alpha 2 through watching others play it and getting their feedback and experiences as well. Another thing that I think is pretty cool that I wanted to talk.
6, I guess. Yes. Also, I actually saw that they changed it a little bit in New World, but we'll probably try the New World patch again. But I don't think it's gonna be super interesting, honestly. But we'll try it.
About actually was these weapons and the types of skill trees that they have associated with them. Trey, do you want to talk to us a little bit about how these skill trees interact with the weapon?
For sure, yeah. part of the plan with each of these weapons is they'll each have a unique skill tree associated with them, to differentiate them not only in terms of feel, but also in terms of mechanics. And
so a short bow and long bow has different skill trees. You know what I would love, and that's maybe asking too much, that each individual, like if, for example, if one bow is called the Stormbringer and the other bow is called the Phoenix, okay, that those two bows have different talent trees as well. Even if they're both a longbow, for example, that would be so sick. But that's a little bit too much to ask for, probably.
an important thing that we really want to capture in Ashes is the ability, basically, so the player can build their character, you know, how they want, and that extends beyond just their class choice, right? So, for example, if I'm the ranger, I can spec into my short bow or I can spec into my longbow, and those will be two different, very different builds.
I mean, the only game that comes close to bows like this is probably BDO. But BDO bows auto attacks are literally useless, so you should probably never use them anyways. But like, you know,
maybe specialized or have a part of its tree that specializes in applying bleeds, and bleeds might synergize with specific ranger abilities that, you know, the longbow might not necessarily synergize with. So weapon choice will play into like what abilities and your type you're specializing in. There's just a lot that goes into it, and we're just starting to scratch the surface of that.
And you would also want to take into account the enemies you're going up against, what areas you're going into, what enemies you're hunting, and is it a player versus a monster? Players will behave very differently, and is a longbow getting the drop on them important?
I also like the debuffs and buffs. Although there should probably a way to differentiate these two. Like this one, I don't know if this is obviously a buff, right? But there's no way to tell if this is a buff or a debuff. They all are at the same
spec
place.
For short bow for being.
You see, this is a debuff, obviously, from his 2 ability, but it shows up at the same spot. It would be good maybe they had like a red border around it, and this one a blue or something.
Dodging, moving around them. You got all those things to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Well, guys, appreciate you joining us today to talk about this stuff. It is amazing that the world you guys are building, the mechanics here. I hope everyone in the audience has enjoyed the demonstration. Talk to us, give us your feedback, tell us what you liked about it, what you would like.
Looks pretty sick. Let me do this. I don't know. I mean, the comments won't probably do anything. One small thing I noticed is the buffs and debuffs are indistinguishable. Indistinguishable? Is that how you say that? Below the health bar of the monsters. Maybe blue border for buff, red for debuff would make it easier to see. I mean, left and right side of the HP bar is cool until you have a billion abilities, you know? I asked a question like 2 years ago to them in their live stream already, and they answered one. That was about action combat and tab targeting. I don't even remember.
Changed. Make sure you do so on the YouTube video and Twitch, on Reddit, on our forums, everywhere you possibly can. It means so much to us to be able to kind of reflect on what the community has to say about the works in progress we're showing you towards Alpha 2. Jeremy, Trad, thank you very much for joining.
You need
always appreciate it. Hearts in chat. These guys are doing awesome. Yes, Purple Heart. These guys are doing awesome, awesome work, and I'm loving the progress, and I'm loving sharing with community. As I know you and everyone else on the team who make these streams possible enjoys it. And with that said, everyone, we will see you back on stream.
That was pretty good. As I said, the biggest issue with this is that it will take 50 years. I can see this being good, but I think it will take a long fucking time. Okay, I mean, thanks for tuning in for that one. I'll link it in the chat as well. It was pretty good. Give it a like, I guess. That was a good one. No more only mounts showing off anymore. I definitely like that more. Oh shit. My mic fell off again. Have a good one, guys.